Every day we encounter moments that test our patience, whether it's being stuck in traffic when we're already late, dealing with a co-worker's annoying habits, or watching our phone battery die during an important call. Life is filled with these small battles, and it's not so much the situations themselves, but how we respond to them that shapes our days and ultimately our lives. Today, we'll explore the ancient wisdom of Stoicism, a philosophy that doesn't just help us survive these frustrating moments, but teaches us to thrive in them. Stoicism provides tools to transform daily frustrations into opportunities for personal growth and inner peace. By the end of this video, you'll understand why Stoic principles have influenced some of the world's greatest minds for centuries, and learn practical strategies you can apply today to start living a more resilient and fulfilling life. Let's embark on this journey together, exploring how the calm logic of Stoicism can help us control our reactions, cultivate serenity, and bring about profound personal transformation. If you appreciate what we're delving into and want to continue learning, please consider subscribing and don't skip any part of the video to gain the full insights we're about to explore. The nature of anger and Stoic wisdom. It's natural for everyone to feel anger at times. It's part of being human. However, this is where Stoicism offers profound wisdom. Stoic philosophy teaches that while we can't always control what happens to us, we can control how we respond. This principle is key to transforming our relationship with anger. When something goes wrong or someone irritates us, our first instinct might be to react with anger. But what if, instead of reacting impulsively, we paused and considered the situation? Stoicism encourages us to view these moments as opportunities to practice virtues like patience, understanding, and resilience. Lesson 1. Understanding anger as a natural emotion. Recognizing anger as a natural emotion is the first step in learning how to handle it effectively. Stoic philosophers like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of not letting external events sway us, but instead focusing on our internal responses. They believed that our emotions, including anger, are rooted in our judgments about events, not the events themselves. For instance, when we feel angry, it's often because we've placed a specific judgment on what has happened. This insight opens a powerful door for us. Each time we feel anger rising, we can pause and ask, what judgment am I making about this situation? Is there another way to view it? This approach isn't about suppressing or denying anger, it's about understanding its root. By identifying what triggers our anger, we can begin to change how we respond. Imagine getting cut off in traffic and feeling anger bubbling up. Rather than reacting, you might reflect on whether it's really the other driver's action that bothers you, or the belief that your route should be obstacle-free. Lesson 2. Practicing empathy and compassion. Acknowledging our anger can also deepen our empathy toward others who may struggle with their emotions. This awareness allows us to approach interactions with compassion, both for ourselves and others. By practicing this self-compassion, we cultivate a gentler response to life's challenges, which helps us connect more meaningfully with those around us. This concept lies at the heart of Stoic philosophy and is incredibly liberating. Once you grasp it, you realize that much of our frustration and anger stems from situations or people we can't change, no matter how much we wish to. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, taught that true power comes from recognizing the distinction between what we can control and what we cannot. Lesson 3. Distinguishing what you can control. According to Stoicism, you control only your thoughts, decisions, and actions. Everything else, other people's actions, the weather, the past, and much of the future, is outside your control. This insight is transformative because it helps us stop wasting energy on things we can't change and instead invest our focus on what we can actually influence. By accepting this distinction, we regain a tremendous amount of power. Focusing on our own reactions and attitudes empowers us to navigate life's challenges with clarity and intention. Imagine how much energy we spend fretting over things we cannot change, Stoicism teaches us to direct this energy inward towards developing resilience, patience, and a more composed state of mind. Lesson 4. Building inner peace through self-discipline. Marcus Aurelius wrote extensively about focusing on our inner world rather than external events. He reminded us that we have control over our own minds and actions, even in the face of difficulty. By practicing self-discipline and training ourselves to respond thoughtfully, we begin to experience a sense of inner peace and freedom from the turmoil of daily irritations. When frustrations arise, instead of reacting impulsively, practice taking a deep breath and assessing the situation. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If not, how can I respond in a way that aligns with my values? This habit gradually helps cultivate a calm, centered approach to life's unpredictability. Applying Stoic principles in everyday life. Let's consider a practical example. You're caught in a traffic jam, already running late. Your initial response may be frustration or anger. Stoicism, however, invites you to reframe this situation. You can't control the traffic, but you can control how you respond. Use this time to listen to an inspiring podcast, reflect, or simply practice patience. This shift in perspective turns a source of frustration into an opportunity for growth. Another example could be dealing with a difficult co-worker. While you may not control their behavior, you can control your reaction. Instead of letting their actions disrupt your peace, try viewing the situation as an exercise in patience and empathy. Over time, practicing these responses helps you develop a resilient and calm approach to similar situations. Final reflection on Stoic wisdom. As we wrap up today's discussion, remember that Stoicism is not just about enduring life's challenges, but about using them to grow stronger and wiser. The teachings of Stoicism, focusing on what you can control, responding thoughtfully, and practicing empathy, are transformative tools for leading a more peaceful, fulfilling life. Stoicism doesn't promise an easy life, nor does it eliminate difficult people or situations. However, it equips us with the mindset to handle life's challenges effectively. By viewing obstacles as opportunities to practice virtue and hardships as tests of resilience, we can start to thrive rather than merely survive. If this journey into Stoicism resonates with you, consider taking these principles forward in your life. As you continue practicing, you'll find that each small step brings a greater sense of purpose, peace, and resilience. Thank you for joining us here at Quote Stories Hub. We're grateful for your curiosity and your dedication to personal growth. Remember, the path to wisdom and inner peace is long and challenging, but each step you take is a step toward a more meaningful life. So keep walking this path with courage and patience. Imagine you're working on a group project and someone isn't putting in their fair share of effort. Frustrating, right? You might even feel your temper rising. But here's where Stoicism offers a shift in perspective. Ask yourself, what part of this situation can I actually control? You can't force your teammate to work harder, but you can control how you respond to the challenge. Maybe that means having a conversation about expectations or redistributing tasks within the group. By focusing on what you can control, you not only reduce your own stress, but also open up more constructive ways to solve the problem. Another essential Stoic principle is accepting that some things are beyond our control. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It's about understanding where our real power lies and not letting external events rob us of our peace of mind. For instance, if you're stuck in traffic and getting irritated because you're going to be late, pause and think, can I control the traffic? No. But what can I control? Your reaction. Maybe you can use this time to listen to an audiobook, play calming music, or organize your thoughts for the day. The beauty of focusing on what you can control is that it gradually builds a stronger, more resilient mindset. Over time, you'll find yourself less rattled by life's ups and downs because you know where your responsibilities end and where acceptance begins. This isn't about suppressing your feelings, it's about channeling your energy more productively. This approach is about being fully present, aware of where we are and what we're doing without getting overly reactive or overwhelmed by what's happening around us. This aligns beautifully with Stoic teachings, which emphasize awareness of our thoughts and actions and the importance of maintaining control over our responses to external events. Why practice mindfulness? Mindfulness helps us create a pause between our experiences and our reactions to them. By becoming more mindful, we can choose responses that align with our values and goals instead of being swept away by emotions. This is particularly useful when dealing with anger or frustration. For example, when someone says something upsetting, instead of immediately reacting or snapping back, mindfulness allows you to take a step back. You notice the surge of emotion, but choose to observe it without acting on it right away. This space created by mindfulness is not just calming, it's empowering. It gives you the chance to choose a response that you won't regret later. Incorporating mindfulness into daily life. Mindfulness sounds great in theory, but the real magic happens in the practice. One simple technique is focusing on your breathing. When you feel anxious or angry, take a moment to concentrate on slow, deep breaths. This focus pulls your mind away from the triggers of stress or anger and brings you back to something you can control, your breath. Another practical method is what we might call mindful observation. Choose an ordinary activity, like drinking a cup of coffee, and fully engage all your senses. Notice the aroma, the warmth of the cup in your hands, the taste. This practice transforms a simple moment into a richer experience, training your brain to apply the same level of awareness in more challenging situations. When anger or frustration arises, you'll be better equipped to handle it with the same calm focus. Embracing impermanence. Stoicism also teaches us about the impermanence of our experiences. Nothing lasts forever, not even our emotions. Mindfulness complements this by helping us experience our feelings without judgment. Acknowledge that you're angry, recognize it, but also remind yourself that this anger is just a passing state. It's not who you are, and it doesn't control you unless you let it. Understanding that everything changes and nothing lasts forever is a universal truth that can help us navigate life's ups and downs with more grace and less frustration. It's about recognizing that our circumstances, emotions, and even our thoughts are in constant flux and learning to embrace this change instead of resisting it. Think about how often we get upset because things didn't go as planned. A job promotion didn't come through, a relationship ended unexpectedly, or a sudden health issue arose. Our first reaction might be to resist these changes, to feel angry or sad. But Stoicism invites us to look at these situations differently, through the lens of impermanence. When we fully grasp that nothing is permanent, we begin to understand that our anger or disappointment is also temporary. This perspective doesn't diminish the importance of our feelings, but offers a more balanced view, helping us to manage our responses and maintain inner peace. Embracing impermanence allows us to live more in the present, worrying less about the past or future. When we understand that everything is temporary, we begin to appreciate our experiences and the people around us more deeply. Knowing that circumstances can change at any moment makes it harder to take things for granted and easier to appreciate the moment. This awareness can be incredibly freeing, reducing the sting of negative events while enhancing the joy of positive ones. How can we practice accepting impermanence in daily life? Start by reflecting on the transient nature of your surroundings and experiences. Notice how the seasons shift, how your emotions change throughout the day, or how relationships evolve over time. Observing these changes can remind us that nothing is permanent and that change is the only constant. Another way to integrate this mindset is by adjusting your response to disruptions or unexpected changes. Instead of reacting with frustration when something doesn't go your way, take a moment to acknowledge that this change is part of life's natural flow. It's an opportunity to adapt and grow. Think about times when things didn't work out as planned, only for something better to come along later. Often it's only in hindsight that we realize how these changes benefited us. Stoicism doesn't just ask us to accept impermanence, it encourages us to find strength in it. Each change and ending provides a chance to practice resilience and flexibility. With this mindset, we cope with life's challenges more effectively and move through them with a sense of peace and anticipation for what's next. Understanding the root of emotions. Stoics believe that understanding the root causes of our emotions leads to greater self-mastery. When we understand our emotions, we're better equipped to respond to life's challenges in ways that align with our values rather than simply reacting out of habit or impulse. Every emotion, whether anger, joy, sadness or fear, arises from our perceptions. For example, if you feel anger when someone interrupts you, it's worth asking why. Does it stem from feeling disrespected? Or does it reflect a deeper insecurity about whether your voice is valued? Exploring these questions helps us understand not just our reactions, but also the beliefs and values that underpin them. This understanding is crucial because it allows us to challenge and change our perceptions, ultimately influencing the way we feel. Stoicism teaches us that our emotions are based on our judgments, and the good news is that judgments can be examined and altered. When a strong emotion arises, try stepping back and asking yourself, what am I believing right now? Is this belief true? Is it helpful? This kind of questioning can be powerful, allowing you to shift your perspective and choose a different, more constructive emotional response. For example, if you're feeling anxious about a work presentation, it might be because you believe you need to be perfect to earn respect. But is this belief accurate? Your colleagues likely value effort and sincerity more than perfection. Recognizing this can ease your anxiety, helping you approach the situation with calm and confidence. Practical tools for emotional awareness. Journaling can be an incredibly effective tool for understanding your emotions. Writing down what you feel and why can help reveal patterns and triggers you might not otherwise notice. This reflection not only aids in the moment, but also builds emotional intelligence over time, making you more resilient and adaptable. Another helpful approach is discussing your feelings with someone you trust, like a friend, family member, or mentor. Speaking about your emotions can provide fresh insights and perspectives that you might not have considered on your own. Often, dialogue helps us reach new understandings about ourselves and our relationships. Embracing the Stoic approach to emotions isn't about suppressing what we feel. Instead, it's about engaging with our emotions in a proactive, reflective way. It's about taking control of the narrative of our inner life. By understanding our emotions, we aren't merely reacting to the world, we're actively shaping our experience of it. Lesson 5. Practicing patience. Stoicism teaches us the value of patience, not merely as a way to endure, but as a method to transform our experiences. Patience in Stoic philosophy is more than waiting. It's about how we conduct ourselves while we wait. It's about maintaining composure and dignity in the face of life's delays and challenges, understanding that these are often outside our control. In our daily lives, we encounter countless situations that can trigger impatience: a slow line at the grocery store, a traffic jam, or a delayed response from a colleague. Our first instinct might be to feel irritated or stressed, but Stoicism encourages us to see these moments as opportunities to practice virtue. Every delay is a chance to exercise patience, reinforcing our ability to stay calm and composed. Developing patience. Practically, one effective way to develop patience is by adjusting our expectations. Often, impatience stems from a mismatch between our expectations and reality. If we acknowledge that delays and obstacles are natural parts of life, we're less likely to feel upset when they happen. This doesn't mean lowering our standards, but rather aligning our expectations with the reality that life won't always go as we'd prefer. Another approach is to use waiting moments as opportunities for growth and reflection. If you're stuck in traffic, instead of fuming, turn the delay into valuable time. Listen to an audiobook, practice deep breathing, or reflect on your day. This shift in perspective turns a frustrating situation into a productive or relaxing one. Mindfulness as a tool for patience. Practicing mindfulness is also a powerful way to cultivate patience. By being fully present in the moment, we engage with it fully rather than being consumed by the desire to reach the next one. Mindfulness helps us notice the sensations, thoughts, and emotions that arise without becoming overly reactive. For example, when you're waiting in line, rather than focusing on the wait, shift your attention to your breath or the sights and sounds around you. Engage with the moment instead of resisting it. This practice can transform moments of impatience into opportunities to center yourself and be present. The power of patience and presence. In a world that prizes instant results and constant progress, Stoicism reminds us that patience and presence are powerful tools. Being patient isn't about passively waiting, but actively choosing how we respond to the world's pace. The Stoic mindset turns every instance of delay into a chance to build patience, resilience, and self-control. When we approach life's obstacles with patience, we not only reduce our stress, but also cultivate a stronger, more resilient mindset. With time, you'll find that these practices, embracing impermanence, understanding the root of emotions, and developing patience, help you move through life with a calm confidence, less shaken by life's ups and downs. By embracing Stoic principles, we learn to respond to life with purpose and poise, creating a sense of peace and resilience that supports us in all situations. It's about actively engaging with each moment, understanding our reactions, and choosing responses that align with our values and goals. Stoicism, in this way, empowers us to live fully and mindfully, seeing each challenge as an opportunity to grow and learn. Through mindfulness, we can distance ourselves from the urgency and restlessness that often accompany waiting. Practicing mindfulness helps cultivate a peaceful state of mind, buffering us against impatience. Stoicism not only advocates patience, but also emphasizes the impermanence of all things. Remembering that this too shall pass can help us endure unpleasant situations, from waiting for a delayed flight to recovering from illness. Recognizing the temporary nature of our circumstances often makes them more bearable. Celebrating small victories is also essential in developing patience. When you manage to stay calm during a situation that would usually make you impatient, take a moment to acknowledge and reward yourself. Recognizing these small achievements reinforces the behavior, gradually making it a habit. This shift in perspective is transformative. It changes not only how we relate to others, but also how we experience inner peace. Lesson 7. Practicing forgiveness. In Stoic philosophy, forgiveness is not about condoning wrongs or forgetting harm done. It's about freeing ourselves from the emotional burden of grudges. Forgiveness requires self-awareness and emotional control, qualities Stoics strive to develop. Recognizing that anger and hurt are natural responses to perceived injustices, but ultimately within our control, is central to Stoic forgiveness. This process isn't simple or immediate. Forgiveness often requires a deliberate effort to release deep-seated feelings of injustice. But imagine the power of deciding not to let another person's actions disturb your inner tranquility. This is the essence of Stoic forgiveness, choosing not to let past actions continually affect your present state of mind. This choice allows you to reclaim your emotional energy and direct it toward pursuits aligned with your values and goals. To start practicing forgiveness in daily life, recognize that all humans, including ourselves, are fallible. Reflecting on our own mistakes can help us develop empathy toward others, making it easier to forgive. Another useful Stoic practice is to consider the bigger picture. Often the things we hold on to are not as significant in the long run. By focusing on our well-being, supported by peace and harmony, the immediate sting of grievances fades. Forgiveness also involves reframing our narratives. Instead of viewing yourself as a victim, see yourself as a survivor or even a hero of your story, someone who has overcome challenges and emerged stronger. This shift not only facilitates forgiveness, but also empowers you in your journey. Meditation and mindfulness can assist in this process. Sitting quietly and focusing on your breath, allow thoughts of forgiveness to enter your mind. Picture those who may have wronged you and imagine sending them thoughts of goodwill. This doesn't mean you accept the wrong, but that you're choosing to release its hold over you. Remember, forgiveness is a process, sometimes a lengthy one, and that's perfectly okay. Each step toward forgiveness, no matter how small, brings you closer to a freer, more balanced emotional state. Lesson 8. Building self-control. Self-control is about pausing before reacting, giving us time to consider whether our impulses align with our long-term goals. For instance, if you're working toward a healthier lifestyle, self-control helps you resist late-night junk food. In emotionally charged situations, self-control enables you to hold back a harsh word or angry reply, preserving relationships and peace of mind. One effective Stoic practice for building self-control is reflecting on your actions and their consequences. Take a few minutes each evening to review the choices you made that day. Were there times when you lacked self-control? What triggered it? Understanding these patterns is the first step toward managing them. Another powerful technique is to set personal guidelines based on your values. Stoicism teaches that living according to rational principles is key to a good life. For example, setting rules like not checking your phone during meals or limiting time on social media exercises self-control in ways that directly improve daily life and well-being. Visualization is another helpful tool. Before entering a situation where you might act impulsively, take a moment to visualize yourself handling it with calm and restraint. Imagine the satisfaction you'll feel from acting in line with your principles. This mental rehearsal makes it easier to keep your composure in real-life scenarios. Building tolerance for discomfort. Strengthening self-control often involves increasing our tolerance for discomfort. The Stoics believed that by voluntarily facing discomfort, whether through cold showers, fasting, or resisting urges, we build willpower. These practices show us that discomfort is often not as bad as we fear, which enhances our ability to exercise self-control in more complex situations. Remember, self-control is a journey, not a destination. There will be times when you falter. That's simply part of being human. What matters is that you recognize these moments, learn from them, and continue striving for improvement. Each act of self-control, no matter how small, is a victory and a step toward becoming a wiser, more balanced person. Conclusion: transforming your life through Stoic practice. Thank you for joining me today at Quote Stories Hub. Remember, every step toward mastering your emotions is a step toward a more peaceful life. Don't forget to check out the suggested videos on your screen to continue your Stoic journey. Together, we're not just learning, we're transforming.